Hello all, hello patrons, and welcome to your reading. So this is going to be a reading on your next 24 hours, and we have 5 groups here. So we've got group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. It's going to be the next 24 hours. We're going to see what comes out. I'll be using tarot, of course, but let's get into it so I won't keep you suspended for much longer. So we're going to get started with group number 1, your next 24 hours. Let's get into it. I'm going to put these to the side. And let's get started. So group number 1, your next 24 hours. Let's look at your tea leaf card first, and then I'll look at the tarot. We've got dogs getting together with friends. So it looks like in the next 24 hours, you're going to be getting together with friends. Friendships are going to be important. Maybe you are advised to get together with friends, but I think it's kind of inevitable. I think you'll be getting together with friends. So let's see what is the energy of getting together with these friends, with these people in the next 24 hours for my group number 1. So let's see. The Strength card. I get a really lovely energy from this because it makes me feel like it's going to be really fun. I think everyone in the group is going to get to be passionate and express themselves, but I'm kind of getting nobody's going to be outshining one another. There's this feeling that everyone gets space to shine. For some reason, that is coming through as like an important element of the next 24 hours. So you will feel like everyone in your friendship group gets to have a spotlight. Maybe everyone is recognized, everyone's feelings and emotions are maybe recognized. But this is also kind of like maybe everyone gets to shine in some sort of way. I'm just thinking of the Leo energy with the Strength card. Right now, for some reason, it's this feeling of attention, and everyone gets like an appropriate amount of attention. Everyone gets to shine. Everyone gets to have their say. Everyone gets to show themselves in some sort of appropriate way, is what I'm getting with this. So I feel like it's going to be the next 24 hours for you. Honestly, group 1 is going to be really, really nice. Like, I'm getting a really nice energy. I feel like there's going to be a lot of warmth, but it's like a very it's joyful but peaceful energy that I'm getting for the next 24 hours. And I feel like you're going to be spending time with people that you truly like this feeling of just being around people that you truly like, you truly enjoy, you truly appreciate, people who fill you with joy, with happiness, with understanding, with compassion. You're only going to be surrounding yourself with the best of the best, is what I'm hearing. So honestly, very nice energy for the next 24 hours. So let's see what else. Ooh, gosh, so many cards are jumping out, but we've got the Hanged Man flipping over. So the Hanged Man does make me feel like the next 24 hours are going to make you see things from a different perspective. Like, I feel like this really nice time spent with these friends, this really nice time spent with these people that are near and dear to your heart, it's going to change your perspective in some sort of way. So maybe, and I don't think it's going to be because something is said or something is done or something massive happens. I think it's like energetically, this energy of joy and being with people that you truly enjoy and truly like and truly have a good time with. It's going to transform your energy somehow. It's going to bring your energy into a different positioning, is what I'm hearing. It kind of feels like you might have a better perspective on something that seemingly is unrelated to your friends. So it could be you spend time with your friends and you have an amazing time, but somehow it alters your perspective on your career. You spend a really nice time with like the people that you love, and it alters your perspective on your family, like a certain family relationship or something like that. There's something like that here at play. It might feel kind of unusual, maybe even a little bit strange. I'm also picking up on a message that you may have like a really good sleep after hanging out with your friends. There's this feeling just like, oh, that is the best sleep I've had in months. Like, I'm kind of getting that as well. That's your energy is being like rebalanced in some sort of way. But I'm just getting this feeling of shifting your perspective, but it's almost like it's not a visceral sort of a shift in perspective. It's very gentle shift in perspective. And it comes from simplicity of being around people that you love, people who get you, people who understand you. And we've got a five of cups. I think your perspective is going to shift on something that you've maybe been feeling regretful over or disappointed about. So there's maybe something that you've been disappointed by, something that you've been regretful over. That spending time with your friends helps you like shift this perspective. I honestly feel, you know what this is reminding me of? It reminds me of like if you go through a breakup or you go through like a difficult situation in your love life or something like that, and then you go hang out with your friends and you have like the best time with your friends, and yeah, maybe you're still disappointed by the breakup, maybe you're still sad over the rift that you experienced with whoever, but you're kind of like, yeah, but like I have all my friends still, all my friends are here, and like I forgot how good it feels to be around people who are near and dear to me, who are my friends, who care about me. Like I forgot what it feels like. Like I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. So I am getting a level of I think you're gonna feel very grateful for your friends. Friendship is a huge theme for you over the next 24 hours. So there's a gratitude for your friendships that is coming through. That is helping you not focus on something regretful, something that you've been disappointed by recently. Maybe something you even cried over recently. Like I feel like maybe there's been something that you've been crying over or you cried over recently, that spending this time with your friends is really going to help you shift. Oh, 10 of Cups. I do feel like there's going to be some really nice time spent. Friends and family potentially, but I just think it's more friendship. But it could be family as well. It's going to help you leave something behind. It's going to help you get, like, I'm seeing friends helping you get over something, whether they are doing it on purpose and intentionally, or whether it's happening by osmosis, by you just hanging out with them. And we've got the High Priestess. It's funny with the Hanged Man and the High Priestess, it's like both Piscean energies, and both energies of accepting the unknown, accepting that some things just can't be changed. There's also like a release of control with both of those cards. I feel like it might help you release control in a situation where you were very attached to outcome. So there's this feeling in the next 24 hours, spending time with friends, maybe even talking to friends on the phone, but I'm getting more so in-person spending time. Is going to help you shift your perspective, is going to help you get over something that you are disappointed by, and help you release attachment to a certain thing that you've been feeling maybe too attached to the outcome of. But there's a genuine appreciation for your friends who are in your life. There's a genuine appreciation for people who are near and dear to you, who have been there for you through thick and thin. But this could also be new friends. Like I'm not excluding that, but this feels like people who you genuinely, like friends who feel like family, friends who feel, like they're your family. I'm honestly getting really beautiful energy. It's like, yes, maybe I lost out on this. Kind of feels like, maybe I lost out on this promotion. Maybe I lost out on this job. Maybe I lost out on this relationship. But I have these friends. I have these beautiful people in my life. And I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful that they exist in my life. So I'm grateful that I get to experience and enjoy this kind of beauty. This is like a really, really joyful energy. I think maybe you haven't been in the most joyful energy in the last while. And the next 24 hours is going to help you bring you to a more joyful place, which is really, really beautiful. It's not to say that you're not going to be sad anymore. It's not to say that sadness is going to be completely eliminated. In fact, I feel there's like residual sadness that maybe you're experiencing, but you are choosing to look on the bright side. You're choosing to look on the fact that you've got all these beautiful people in your life. There's an appreciation for the people that exist in your life in the next 24 hours, group number 1. So that is your next 24 hours, group number 1. Very, very cool, very beautiful reading. I'm keeping these a little bit shorter, but thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. So we're going to move forward. Let's move on to group number 2. Group number 2, next 24 hours. We've got Mountain Major Challenge to Overcome. So So there's going to be a challenge popping up, or maybe you're already aware of a challenge that you're going to have to address in the next 24 hours. So I'd like to see what this challenge is. What is this challenge? Okay, this is not a challenge that you don't know about. This is a challenge that you're definitely aware of just as you're watching this reading. I think you're deciding to tackle this challenge. You're deciding to say, okay, enough is enough. Like, I've been sitting around musing on this challenge, or maybe I've been kind of avoiding this challenge. Maybe I've been avoiding this problem. It's time to tackle it. So you're getting into the mode, you're not even getting into the mode of tackling, you're tackling. So you're fully tackling a challenge that's been in need of tackling for a while now. You're ready, you have the energy, you're determined. So there's a level of determination that's coming through. You're very determined to solve a certain problem in the next 24 hours. And this is a problem you're already aware of. This is not something new popping up, because that's what I kind of wanted to know. I wanted to know if this is a challenge that you weren't aware of, or if this was something that you're like, I'm already aware of this. I already know that this is a challenge that needs to be addressed. So let's see. Okay. We've got the Page of Swords, so maybe this is something where you need to seek more information. This could be a challenge where you need to ask around for information, where you need to like maybe send a very annoying email, or maybe do a phone call that you really don't want to do. This kind of feels like that, you know, like calling somewhere you really don't want to call, sending an email somewhere you really don't want to send an email to, talking to someone you'd rather not. This could be like in work, needing to talk to someone. You're like, I don't want to talk to my boss, or I don't want to talk to that colleague about this issue, but it's something that you're just there's a feeling of biting the bullet and just doing it. So that's your next 24 hours. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you're gonna, maybe the reason that you're finally able to tackle this challenge that I think you've been aware of for a while but haven't been able to like fully go for, is because you are feeling more grounded. You're feeling more stable. Maybe you're feeling like you grounded yourself in some sort of way that you haven't been able to ground yourself in a very long time. Maybe you finally, for some of you, this major challenge is actually about like cleaning something up or tidying something up. But in order to do that, you may need to seek more information. So like that's very specific, but I'm just getting like tidying or cleaning something. But in order for that, there needs to be a conversation or something almost. So maybe it's like a need to talk to someone about it. But I just feel like you're in a better space mentally and in a grounded sort of a place where you're able to tackle like a conversation like that. For some of you, it's like maybe it's biting the bullet to have a very difficult conversation that you would rather not have. Temperance, because you're feeling calm enough, you're feeling stable. There's this feeling that maybe you haven't been feeling stable enough to do it. You haven't been feeling stable enough to have the conversation, to interact with whoever this is. And the Hanged Man, you've been procrastinating this. This feels like a challenge that you've been procrastinating. This is a challenge you've been procrastinating. This is a challenge you've been avoiding. But you're ready. In the next 24 hours, you're ready. The Moon card. For some of you, you may have been procrastinating this because you haven't had very good sleep lately. Maybe you haven't been feeling very rested. There might have been a lot of fears around this that were more subconscious rather than like, you know, legitimate. There's this feeling of you weren't in the right energy to so don't shame yourself for the fact that you didn't tackle it sooner. Try not to shame yourself for the fact that you didn't tackle it sooner. I'm getting that strongly. Yeah, there's this feeling that you might be kind of grappling with yourself a little bit in the next 24 hours, being like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, this was so easy. If I just did it sooner, it would have been better. it's like, yeah, maybe it was easy all along. Maybe it was fine. It wasn't such a big deal. You were able to go and do it all along, but you weren't in the state of mind. You weren't in the place. You didn't have enough sleep. You were cranky. You were not as grounded as you needed to be to tackle it. You tackled it where the thing is, the main thing is you tackled it when you were able to. You tackled it once you finally were able to, and that's good enough, and that's fine. So the main thing here is not to berate yourself for the fact that you didn't tackle it sooner. Because I do get the sense that you're going to tackle it and you're just going to be in this place of, that was easy. Why didn't I do that sooner? You weren't ready, and that's fine. So I think that's all I actually have for you, group number 2. I feel like that's your next 24 hours. It's about this challenge, a challenge you've been procrastinating. You haven't been in the right energy to tackle it. You haven't felt grounded enough to tackle it, but you finally feel grounded and full of energy and brave enough maybe even to tackle it in the next 24 hours. And you're going to do it splendidly. I think there's not going to be many mishaps. I think there's just going to be a little bit of shame around, why didn't I do that sooner? But now that you watch this reading, maybe you'll be a little bit kinder with yourself around that. So that's what I have for you, group number 2, for your next 24 hours. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me and for supporting me on Patreon. And I'm going to move forward. So we're moving on to group number 3. So group number 3, your next 24 hours. We've got boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. So you might be increasing your efforts. You might be deciding that you need to make more effort in a certain area of your life. So I want to ask, what is this exactly about? A boot? What is this a boot, baby? Oh, well, for some of you, it could be about promotion, or in order to receive more recognition, in order to receive more recognition, in order to get a promotion, in order to reach a higher level of status or a higher level in your career, I'm getting especially. So some of you are deciding that you need to put more effort into your career, and in general into your overall sense of achievement. You're deciding that you want to be more recognized. It could even be that you decide that you want to be more recognized for your efforts. Knight of Pentacles. I definitely think for most of you, this is something to do with career. So I feel like career is going to be really important in the next 24 hours for this group. I think you're going to decide that you want to be more stubborn with a certain aspect of your career. So maybe there's a certain aspect of your career where you've been a little bit laxy-daisy about, where you've been kind of like, oh, if it happens, it happens. If it works, it works. It's kind of like, and it's not to say that's wrong. It's not to say that that's a bad attitude, but that's the attitude that you had towards this part of your career is what I'm getting. And you're deciding that, no, I want to reach this goal. I want to get to that kind of like point of victory that I consider a victory. Some of you may decide that you really want a certain promotion. And, apply that to your situation, apply how that works for your career. You might decide, I want more clients. You might decide, no, I want to make more money. Like there's this goal that you're setting where you want more. And you're like, and I'm going to get very, very persistent and stubborn about it. And I'm really going to go for it. But I feel like you're also managing your expectations, because the Knight of Pentacles, he's a slow moving knight, and he doesn't like rush into things. He's like, yes, I'm going to move forward, but I'm going to move forward carefully and with consideration. But I think for a lot of you, this either has to do with promotion or like receiving more recognition of some kind in your career in some way. You're deciding you want to amplify that. And we have 7 of Cups. So you're also cutting through certain illusions. You're cutting through daydreaming about it. Like there might be energies where you were daydreaming about a promotion or being more recognized, and you're like, oh, it'd be so great if I could have this in my career, if I could have this in my career. And you're getting to a point where you're saying, okay, like at this point, I can't daydream anymore. I have to go into this practically. I have to actually put in the proper intensive effort that it requires for me to get to that point. So you're getting very serious about something, I feel, in your career, specifically group 3. You're getting very stubborn. You're getting very persistent and very stubborn about something in your career. Wow. Just be careful not to go into a place of overworking yourself, but this is not a message for the next 24 hours. I feel like this is a message just in general for you. Be aware, because I feel like you're the kind of group where you could be very all or nothing. So if you decide to go into something, like the way that I think you're deciding to go for something, you might become like, go into like this workaholic mode or something like that. Or you might just really, really push yourself almost to the point, like a breaking point. But this is not a message for the next one. It's not like you're gonna push it. I mean, maybe you're gonna push yourself to the breaking point in the next 24 hours. Please don't do that. But I'm getting more of a message. Just be aware of your tendency to obsess over certain things, to go ham on something, basically, is what I'm getting. Page of Pentacles. Some of you might even decide to do a course or sign up to a certain course, sign up to a certain workshop or something like that in order to achieve this goal, or to go for this promotion or something like that. I'm getting like, well, for some of you, it might be that in the next 24 hours, you're going to be putting in extra hours into your work, into your career. So you might be, doing a lot of overtime or something like that. There's an energy of that I'm picking up with this group. Like, I'm going to pick up the extra hours. I'm really going to dedicate myself to this. Like, there's a feeling of like dedicating yourself to something. Judgment card. You are making a judgment call on something. Like, if I want to ever get to this promotion, if I ever want to get to this point of recognition in my career, I need to do A, B, and C. And I think you're really putting the money where your mouth is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. So maybe I'm also getting this idea of like you promising something to yourself. Like, I promise to myself that this time next year, or at this particular time, I will achieve this. Basically, this is what I'm achieving by the time I'm here. So you're very determined. There's almost like a fanatic sort of obsession that I'm picking up on with this energy. There's almost like a fanatism about something. And I feel like this is something you've been daydreaming about for a while. And I feel something is clicking into place in the next 24 hours where you're like, that's it. Now it's time to go for it. So you might be finally signing up for a course. Or maybe it's even, like sometimes in order to get a promotion, you have to like apply to get the promotion. So it's like maybe you've been toying with the idea of applying for a certain promotion. You're like, that's it, I'm applying. Maybe you're applying for a job that you were like, oh, like maybe one day I'll be able to do a job like this, and you're like, no, fuck it, like the time is now, I'm applying for this job. This actually does have a strong energy of like applying for something that maybe, or booking something, or like there's this feeling, it's just like I'm going for it. Auditioning for something, there's something like submitting something, like you're submitting something, you're like, and I'm gonna work hard for this. So there's a real drive here that I'm seeing. But at the same time, it's not impulsive. It feels like something you've been like mulling over for a while. And I feel like you're finally ready. You're making the judgment call that it's time. But I feel like for a lot of you, maybe it's something that used to be a dream. And you're like, I'm tired of this being a dream. I want this to be my reality now. So you're maybe deciding to make a certain dream reality, but you're also recognizing how much effort, how much work it's going to take. You're like, this is going to take work. Fuck it. Let's go, basically, is what I'm getting. So, wow, very, very cool. Thank you so much, group 3. So that was your reading. That was your next 24 hours. So thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon and joining me for this reading. So that was your next 24 hours, group 3. So we're going to move on to group 4 now. Group 4, your next 24 hours. Group 4, let's get into it. We've got dog far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. So you could be contacting or be contacted. I think it's more you're being contacted by someone whom you haven't heard from for a very long time. Most likely a friend, but this could be, I honestly feel like for some of you it could be someone romantic as well. I'm getting kind of like, we'll see. I want to get more, but I'm getting you're being contacted by someone you haven't heard from in a while. So what is the nature of this? 8 of Swords. This person is nervous to reach out to you. I'm not going to lie, for some of you, it's going to be a little bit longer than 24 hours, but we're doing the next 24 hours. I think at least in the next 24 hours, this person is thinking of contacting you a lot. This is someone who could have potentially even ghosted you. But I am just getting someone you haven't heard from in a very long time, to the point where you were just like, okay, like I'm just not gonna hear from them, you know, like it's that kind of thing. Like maybe you're just kind of maybe you feel like you've grown apart from this person even. I honestly feel you're feeling this person's energy right now as you're watching this reading. I'm getting that very strongly. I think you're feeling this person's energy right now. And this is someone you were like, okay, I think this is someone you kind of either got over, or someone that you were like, okay, like we're just not talking anymore. I don't think there was a falling out though. It kind of feels like more of a growing apart situation, or kind of confusing situation where you were just like, okay, like I don't really know what's going on here, so I'm just moving on. And it's funny because even though I think you've moved on, you've been feeling this person's energy, and maybe you haven't even been able to like pinpoint that it's their energy, but maybe you've been feeling like, I'm feeling someone's energy in my field lately. It's because this person's heavily thinking about reaching out to you. Heavily. 3 of Cups. It's more likely to be a friend rather than romantic, I will say. Now that we've got the 3 of Cups and the distant friend is thinking of you, but I wouldn't rule out, like for maybe a small fraction of you it could be romantic, but I'm getting it's more a friend. A friend you probably grew apart from, or a friend like that just stopped responding to your messages, or there's something like that. This is not someone you feel butthurt over, if that makes sense. Knight of Pentacles. This person is going to be very careful in reaching out to you. This person's going to be very careful in reaching out to you. This person's not going to want to rock the boat with you is kind of it's funny because I feel like this person might think that you're mad at them, but you're genuinely not. Interesting message. King of Swords. This person is like, honestly, I will say this person's overthinking this a little bit. They're not realizing that if they reached out to you and they were like, hey, how have you been? That you'd just be like, yeah, I've been good. How are you? Like, and you'd just be completely fine. They might be thinking something up in their head, thinking that you're going to reject them or you're not going to respond. Even like this person's assuming that you might not respond. You might not say anything at all. Honestly, in the next 24 hours, you're more likely to feel this person thinking about you, but I think they are going to reach out, but there's something that they want to say. I think they really miss your friendship. They really miss being around you as a person. They miss your grounding energy. They miss your grounding advice is what I heard. So there's some sort of advice that maybe you've given to this person that they've really carried with them. This person is missing you, but they don't know how to express that. And for some of you, they don't want to express it. They don't want to say it. Like, it's like they know they feel it, but they don't want to say it. So a distant friend is thinking of you, you know, like I'm getting your next 24 hours. For a lot of you, yes, this person's going to reach out, But I think for a lot of you, it's going to take more than 24 hours for this person to reach out. Your next 24 hours is going to be that you're going to be feeling their energy. And maybe you've already been feeling this person's energy, thinking about you, wanting to talk to you. And it's funny because for a lot of you, you might not even know who this is. You're just like aware that someone's in your energy. You're like, I'm feeling something. Maybe you've had this feeling, just like, I feel like someone is going to like reach out to me soon. There's this kind of like, I have this feeling that someone's going to reach out to me soon. And you're right. But this person is just like really, really thinking about you a lot. They're thinking about your friendship. They're thinking about the dynamics of your friendship. For some of you, I don't think this is an ex. That's something I'm going to rule out straight away. I don't think this is an ex. I don't think this is someone you would have had a fully fledged relationship with. If this was like anything romantic, it was like minuscule. Like I'm getting, it would have been minuscule. It would have been barely there. It would have been like, I'd be surprised if you even like kissed this person. There might have been notions of romance, but like, I honestly feel like this is something where this is someone who genuinely likes you as a human, always liked you as a human. I don't think there was a falling out. I'm not seeing bad blood between you and this person. I'm not seeing a rift between you and this person. What I'm seeing is more of like a growing apart or like moving in different directions sort of situation. And this person may worry that because you moved apart or you grew apart that there is bad blood, but there isn't. Like, I feel like you would actually be happy to hear from this person. You would actually be like, oh my God, no way. Like, this person's reaching out to me. Cool. Like, I'd love to catch up with you. Whereas this person's expectation is that you would be likely to ignore their text message or whatever it is, their call, that you'd be likely to ignore them, that you wouldn't acknowledge them, you wouldn't even talk to them, that kind of thing. I think this person has some issues with rejection. So maybe that gives you a little bit of a idea of who this might be. This is someone who doesn't deal with rejection very well and maybe expects to be rejected. So like, I do feel like maybe this person expects to be rejected. But I think whatever message is gonna come through with this person, it's gonna be something very careful. It's not going to be anything big. It's going to be a very careful message if there is one. But your next 24 hours, you're going to feel someone in your energy field who's thinking about you heavily and really wants to reach out and really wants to reconnect with you, at least on a friendship basis. So that's what I have for you, group number 4. So that was a little bit different, but interesting nonetheless. So thank you, group number 4. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. I really appreciate it. So let's keep moving along. We're moving on to group number 5. Group number 5, we've got mice, discord amongst friends and family, or family. So there might be some sort of a conflict that happens in the next 24 hours, or it has already happened and you're experiencing the aftermath of it. Or there just might be weird vibes between you and, like, I don't think it's even between you and someone. This feels like within a group of friends, within a group of people, there might be some odd vibes. 2 of Pentacles. I'm feeling like you might feel odd in a group of friends. You know what this makes me think? When you're hanging out with your friends and everyone's on a different vibe and everyone's like in a different mood or in a different energy and it doesn't really gel together. This doesn't, because discord is not necessarily like drama, fighting. What I'm picking up with this is more that if you're around friends or people in general, your family members, you may notice that all of you are in, because I'm also noticing all these mice, they're different colors. They're all different. What I'm kind of getting is like everyone's on a different vibe and everything kind of feels a bit odd or weird. It's like we're all on a different vibe, and so, okay, we've got the Tower. I spoke too soon. Maybe there might be some conflict. There might be some conflict that occurs because people are in different moods and in different vibes and can't really get on the same page. Someone might be feeling really insecure, and their insecurity might spark a certain level of conflict. I mean, it doesn't have to be with friends, it could be with family as well. But it feels like there's this feeling of like people are just in different energies and different moods, and that sparks conflict. And it's not like, one thing is like, it's not anyone's fault. Like I keep getting like, it's not anyone's fault. It's just, that's the energy that people are in. And I feel like people will, you know, say their sorries and make up pretty easily. Like it's not going to be a deal where, you know, if you have this fight with someone or there's a fight going on, because I don't think it's going to be you and one person fighting. I feel like it's more like a group of people might have a bit of a conflict between them as a group. But I feel like there's a lot of forgiveness and understanding coming as a result of it. And I actually think it might be good for this group, whatever group this is. I mean, for some of you, it could even be in work. But I feel like if it is in work, it would have to be with coworkers that you actually genuinely feel close to, rather than coworkers you couldn't give a shit about. The moon. There's something that's been brewing underneath. I think people also, this makes me think like if you're watching this like before a full moon, obviously I don't know when you're watching this, but like if you're watching this before a full moon or the moon, it's like, I mean, we're going into eclipse season. If you're watching this before the eclipses, maybe that is affecting the mood, because this feels more like we're all on a different vibe and the vibes are very odd. It's not to do with the fact like that we hate each other or we don't like each other. It's just the energy. The Lovers. There's a greater consciousness that comes out of it. I feel like it's a fight that needs to happen so that everyone in the group can come to a greater consciousness about excuse me what they want from this group. I also feel, because I started coughing out of nowhere, I feel like this has to do with also people clearing their throat chakra and actually saying what they've been wanting to say for the longest time. It's like people finally say what they've been wanting to say. And sometimes that can only come out through conflict. Maybe there's certain people in the group that are being unheard. And, you know, you do have those people who are a little bit more quiet and they tend to not give their point of view as often. They don't tend to speak on things as often. And maybe there's a need for a rift or a conflict to happen so those people can actually say what they needed to say for a very long time. But I feel like this is coming through as a clearing of energy. So whatever this conflict is, it needs to happen. And there's no need to be afraid of it. And also, it's just the fact that everyone in the group is on slightly different energies, on slightly different in slightly different vibrations. Maybe even it's like one person might be in a really hyper mood, one person is lethargic, one person is irritated, like, you know, and it's so like everyone is just in a kind of like, it's odd because people are not on the same vibe, people are not on the same level. So that's what I'm seeing for your next 24 hours. But please don't be afraid of it. This just feels like a clearing of energy, and there's this feeling of just like something really needs to be said, something needs to be expressed that hasn't been expressed, and it's been underneath for a very long time. So that's what I have for your next 24 hours, group number 5. Thank you for joining me in this reading. So that's all I have. These ones were a little bit shorter because 24 hours, there's not much that you can say about the next 24 hours. So thank you so much, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!